English speaking and pronunciation practice. Exercise 2, Mind Maps. Just a reminder, continually improve your English. Click the subscribe button, the bell icon, and then all. And be sure to watch the introductory video to learn how to use the echo speaking method. Just see the link in the description. So let's begin our practice. At this very moment, at this very moment, at this very moment, millions of brain cells, millions of brain cells, millions of brain cells inside your head, inside your head, inside your head, are busy receiving information, are busy receiving information, are busy receiving information. Each brain cell, each brain cell, each brain cell has a center, has a center, has a center from which radiate branches, from which radiate branches, from which radiate branches, called dendrites, called dendrites, called dendrites, which can link with dendrites, which can link with dendrites, which can link with dendrites of another brain cell, of another brain cell, of another brain cell, through electrical impulses, through electrical impulses, through electrical impulses. Each of these brain cells, each of these brain cells, each of these brain cells looks like a super octopus, looks like a super octopus, looks like a super octopus, with a central body, with a central body, with a central body, and tens, hundreds, or thousands, and tens, hundreds, or thousands, and tens, hundreds, or thousands of tentacles, of tentacles, of tentacles. This basic knowledge, This basic knowledge of the brain cell of the brain cell can have a huge impact on how we learn and how we teach What if we could in some way imitate this radiant design in learning teaching methodology. In learning teaching methodology. In learning teaching methodology. Suppose an English language student Suppose an English language student creates a core group of 5 new words creates a core group of 5 new words creates a core group of 5 new words related to a central theme. Related to a central theme. Related to a central theme. From those 5 new words, from those 5 new words, from those 5 new words, synonyms and antonyms, synonyms and antonyms, synonyms and antonyms are also introduced. Are also introduced. Are also introduced. Along with phrasal verbs. Along with phrasal verbs. Along with phrasal verbs. And sentences in various tenses. And sentences in various tenses. and sentences in various tenses. Instead of students, instead of students, instead of students, laboriously writing down, laboriously writing down, laboriously writing down, a list of words and phrases, a list of words and phrases, a list of words and phrases. They draw a map. They draw a map. They draw a map. Imitating the brain cell. Imitating the brain cell. Imitating the brain cell. With a sheet of paper, with a sheet of paper, with a sheet of paper, in landscape mode, in landscape mode, in landscape mode, they put the central theme, they put the central theme, they put the central theme in the middle, in the middle, in the middle. Then a branch is created. Then a branch is created. Then a branch is created. From the center, from the center, from the center, along which a key word is written. Along which a key word is written. Along which a key word is written. Sub-branches and lines, sub-branches and lines, sub-branches and lines are drawn out from the main branch, are drawn out from the main branch, are drawn out from the main branch, containing synonyms, antonyms, and phrasal verbs. Containing synonyms, antonyms, and phrasal verbs. Containing synonyms, antonyms, and phrasal verbs. A different color, a different color, a different color is used for each branch. Is used for each branch. is used for each branch. Small cartoons, small cartoons, small cartoons, or symbols and drawings, or symbols and drawings, or symbols and drawings, are inserted beside some of the words. Are inserted beside some of the words. Are inserted beside some of the words. And related words. And related words. And related words. To illustrate their meaning. To illustrate their meaning. To illustrate their meaning. This method is often referred to. This method is often referred to. This method is often referred to as mind mapping. As mind mapping. As mind mapping. Mind maps were Mind maps were Mind maps were formally introduced to the world. Formally introduced to the world. Formally introduced to the world in the spring of 1974. In the spring of 1974. In the spring of 1974. By the method's creator, Tony Buzan. By the method's creator, Tony Buzan. By the method's creator, Tony Buzan. In a nutshell, he explains. In a nutshell, he explains. In a nutshell, he explains. Rather than starting from the top, rather than starting from the top, rather than starting from the top, and working down in sentences or lists, and working down in sentences or lists, and working down in sentences or lists, one should start from the center. One should start from the center. One should start from the center. With the main idea. With the main idea. with the main idea and branch out, and branch out, and branch out, as dictated by the individual ideas, as dictated by the individual ideas, as dictated by the individual ideas, and general form of the central theme, and general form of the central theme, and general form of the central theme. Now, using mind mapping, now using mind mapping, now using mind mapping, a student can quickly absorb, a student can quickly absorb, a student can quickly absorb vocabulary at a glance, vocabulary at a glance, vocabulary at a glance, and with one major advantage, and with one major advantage, and with one major advantage. Just as the dendrites, just as the dendrites, just as the dendrites, in a group of brain cells, in a group of brain cells, in a group of brain cells, can link and connect, can link and connect, can link and connect with each other, with each other, with each other. The student can now easily see, the student can now easily see, the student can now easily see connections and co-relationships, connections and co-relationships, connections and co-relationships between keywords and related words, between keywords and related words, between keywords and related words. The brain starts to see how, the brain starts to see how, the brain starts to see how various words relate to each other, Various words relate to each other. Various words relate to each other. As explained by Edward de Bono, as explained by Edward de Bono, as explained by Edward de Bono, a leading authority on thinking skills, a leading authority on thinking skills, a leading authority on thinking skills, the mind functions, the mind functions, the mind functions to create patterns, to create patterns, to create patterns, out of its surroundings, out of its surroundings, out of its surroundings. Once the patterns are formed, once the patterns are formed, once the patterns are formed, it becomes possible, it becomes possible, it becomes possible to recognize them, to recognize them, to recognize them, to react to them, to react to them, to react to them, to use them, to use them, to use them. As the patterns are used, as the patterns are used, as the patterns are used, they become ever more firmly established, ever more firmly established, ever more firmly established. By regularly reviewing, by regularly reviewing, by regularly reviewing this mind map or word tree, this mind map or word tree, this mind map or word tree, the mind quickly and easily, the mind quickly and easily, the mind quickly and easily absorbs new vocabulary, absorbs new vocabulary, absorbs new vocabulary, thus firmly establishing new patterns. Thus firmly establishing new patterns. Thus firmly establishing new patterns. The brain eagerly. The brain eagerly. The brain eagerly soaks up the lesson. Soaks up the lesson. Soaks up the lesson, depicted in a variety of colors, depicted in a variety of colors, depicted in a variety of colors, with associated pictures and symbols. With associated pictures and symbols. With associated pictures and symbols. What an exciting, what an exciting, what an exciting and enjoyable way to learn. And enjoyable way to learn. And enjoyable way to learn. Language study. Language study. Language study can take on a whole new dimension. Can take on a whole new dimension. Can take on a whole new dimension. With students. With students. With students. Often making rapid progress. Often making rapid progress. Often making rapid progress. Whether in the learning. Whether in the learning. Whether in the learning or teaching arena. Or teaching arena. Or teaching arena. Imitating brain cells. Imitating brain cells. Imitating brain cells can be very powerful. Can be very powerful. Can be very powerful. Well, that's the end of the exercise. Now you've finished this English speaking and pronunciation exercise, focus on improving your fluency. Read this text in exercise 2 again using the synchronized reading method. Go to the description below for the link to the playlist. Has this video helped you? Then like, share or comment now. And build a powerful English vocabulary with my free course on Udemy. Go to goodenglish.online.